guys. Done. Activating fucking demonetize mode. We're getting no ad revenue for this stream, boys. Let's go. What's this?
But this area is day or night. You know, they're moving. They know where the guys come to drop.
Let's talk about like what's some politics shit? Abortion. Hey guys.
Off the fentanyl at these gas stations or these different places, and they have a whole network. But if you're from Albuquerque, you're from New Mexico, you're a certain way. And we grew up with these realities, you know. Fentanyl is just the new thing. What have we had before it, you know? When I was young, heroin really shaped my life and my family's life in Espanola. I was able to get away from that place and move to Moriarty, and there was meth everywhere, you know, single wide trailers full of meth. And now we've come into the opioid epidemic, and it's turned into this thing called fentanyl that was made in a lab, and it's like sustaining these people like zombies.
We just hoping and praying that the community can get, you know, restored. Go to the sheriffs and the SWAT team. They definitely trying to clean up the community because they're asking for suggestions. My name's Jutaro, y'all. Trying to clean up Albuquerque, you know what I'm saying?
Albuquerque streets. Directed by Juan Jimenez. Shot by Senot Ladekrin. Edited by Andrew Calican.
The streets of Albuquerque, New Mexico are not to be played with, especially as they face an increased rate of homelessness and a mass surge of fentanyl, driven by the production of small pills called blues, which are pressed and packaged in Mexico by cartels, who receive the raw fentanyl precursor materials from Chinese chemists, who operate with little to no consequences from their government.
The Drug Enforcement Agency estimates 90% of fentanyl.
Yo, what do you guys reckon? You reckon China's like, hey, Z-Ping guys, like, I'll allow it. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just let them send fentanyl to NA. Well, to Mexico, who sends to NA, right? They're gonna it's like, hey, they want to do that, you know, they can have their freedom. That freedom, you know, give them the free. But China's just like, well, I have heard China is shutting down some of these factories. I've heard that is the case. But I've heard that, like, you know, they could be doing more, right? They could be doing more. But a part of me wonders, like, is that some sort of weird, like, pseudo warfare, like proxy warfare, where you intentionally produce these fucking opioids, which, like, and then send them over to another country that you want to, like, kind of fuck over? You know, it's like some low key, eroding slowly, just atrophying a country. I mean, potentially. It does kind of make sense that they would want that, right? But then I don't know. Maybe Xi Jinping doesn't want that though. I don't know. I don't know what he wants. I just know he wants China to be number one. So.
Fentanyl comes from Chinese companies that not only operate legally inside of China, but are also subsidized and paid for by the Chinese Communist Party.
There's a new drug of choice in New Mexico that's causing problems like the state's never seen before.
It's in our communities. It's found everywhere we go. Bernalillo County reported nearly 69 deaths per 100,000 people.
That fentanyl's killing a whole lot of people. Back in the days, it used to be Sheba, it used to be heroin, homes, you know?
Overnight, it seemed like the blues came in, and I just started to see everybody that, like, I knew that was getting high on just the heroin, go to the pills, like their whole lifestyle changed. You know what I mean? Like, they started losing everything. You know what I mean? Like, people are going out and just stealing shit right and left. You know what I mean? If it ain't bolted down, somebody's gonna take it. You know what I mean?
In the years prior, Albuquerque's gritty reputation was something that many well-to-do residents saw as quirky.
Rice and Krispies. What? Yeah, wait, that's a thing they made? That's so sick.
A small blemish on an otherwise strong city, often ironically celebrated through the veneration of the character Walter White, a fictional meth dealer from the series Breaking Bad, who once called the ABQ home. But the surge in violence and property crime that's accompanied the advent of blues has caused residents to get serious and push for a real solution.
Wait, at least the blues ain't in needles, right? So that's kind of like a low-key mini W. Am I tripping? Isn't that actually kind of good? You tripping? Well, because it means there ain't going to be needles anywhere. So that's at least one mini W to fentanyl. A W fentanyl.
Just like in San Francisco, where I visited a nonprofit facility called the Gubbio Project, who distributes safe supplies to drug users in the hopes of curtailing the overdose rate, Albuquerque is home to several nonprofits that work in harm reduction, one of which is called the Endorphin Power Company.
So I'm Jeff Holland. I'm the executive director here at the Endorphin Power Company in Albuquerque's International District. I'm also a clinician at New Mexico Wellness Residential Treatment Center and Detox. Yeah, we're a very unique housing model that helps people coming out of treatment who might be facing homelessness or who might be facing a situation where they think they need more support or they don't want to return to a dangerous situation. We're a non-denominational program. It's not faith-based, it's not this-based, it's whatever works for the individual. So, you know, if going to church works, that's fine. If going to 12-step works, that's fine. If practicing Buddhism, that's fine. We're just going to hold you to something. So we have case managers here. Everybody gets assigned a case manager, so you don't just live here. You actually meet with people to help you set and achieve your goals. And the four non-negotiables of our program are exercise, education, service, and community. So all the residents here have to do something for their physical.
Boy, that's sick. What the hell, that's so sick. That's it. I mean, dude, that's W.
Health on a daily basis for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They have to do something for their brain health for 30 minutes, which
like
is
education, exercise. I mean, dude, this is so good. This is like what humans need.
learning something new. It can be school, YouTube video, reading a book, reading the newspaper, whatever. They've got to be a part of the community where they live, because the biggest support system you have are the people you surround yourself with on a regular basis. So they got to spend at least 30 minutes a day here with their community. And then you have to give back to the community without expectation of reward for up to 3 hours a month.
Despite these pretty straightforward tenets, Jeff says it's become increasingly difficult to serve the community, based solely on the strength of fentanyl, which has doubled the number of users seeking their services.
So 10 years ago, the flavor of the month was heroin, right? Right now, that's all shifted into fentanyl. You're always going to have meth and alcohol and cocaine and all that. I think now, because...
Guys, are drugs getting better or worse? Like, is this shit working? Like, are the drugs getting... Like, are there less people doing drugs? Or are there more people doing worse drugs? Wait, how many? Let me just look. Let's go this. Drug addicts going up or down in America? Hey, look, 24% decline in drug overdose. That sounds good. That sounds good. Look, 24% decline in U.S. drug overdose deaths. Hey, look, that one at the top. That sounds good. Where's this at? I can't find my thread. I want to do it. Less overdose, more daily users. Let's make it. Did I wish I just make a graph over the last 20 years? Let's go, Roby. Let's go. All right. Dealers want their customs. Okay, what do we got here? Trend in the last... Okay, what do we got? Adjust per 100K. 2003, 8.9. 2006, 11.5. 2013, 11.5. 2021, 32.4. 2022, 32.6. Okay, that's okay. So wait, maybe it's peaking and now it's coming down, perhaps? Holy shit. So wait, it's like 3x as bad from 2013 to 2021. Or 3x as bad from 2013 to 2023. And this was stable from 2006 to 2013. Holy shit. That's crazy. Okay, so maybe it's getting slightly better though now. Maybe we're finally getting to a point. Narcan is why there's fewer overdoses. Oh, so you think that there's actually more drug addicts, but we just got better things to stop people from dying? So that's maybe not good then. So maybe this is like a Band-Aid fix, and then it's gonna be rife once they run out of Narcan. Maybe the answer is just more Narcan. No, the answer is to like fix the fucking, make it so people don't want to do drugs in the first place, right? Like I would never want to do fentanyl ever. Like you know, I just exist as a human, and I've obviously the environment I was raised in and the education I've got, it's just made me like I would just never want to do that. I would just never, if someone said, "Hey, I've got some free fentanyl right now. Do you want some?" I'm not gonna be like, "Hell yes." I'm like, "Nah, dude, that's the one turn you into a zombie, bro. I don't want to do that." And now why is that? I guess that's just like you just learn just education and environment. So maybe that's what they got to change. It's probably like if you're surrounded by drugs your entire life, you're more likely to do drugs, versus if you're not surrounded by drugs your entire life, you're less likely to do drugs, right? It's probably some simple shit like that.
Fentanyl is so much cheaper and so much stronger. You know, the junkie's dream. Give me the strongest stuff possible. Take me to the edge of death. We're seeing quite a few more people. So same symptoms, same look, just more of it.
The fentanyl is just really, really fuck people up. You know what I mean? It's taking a lot of people's lives. I mean, it's almost taken my life a few times. You know what I mean?
And I used to be a heroin addict. I done 10 years in prison, got out in 2017, and that was a pretty big difference to me from what it used to be back in the days, you know what I mean? There's a lot of murders, there's a lot of homeless people. Whatever the fuck they're smoking is bad.
I overdosed probably about 3 months ago. I was lucky enough to have got brought back. Because like I said, one minute I'm sitting here having a conversation with you, and then the next minute I'm waking up on the floor and I got paramedics around me and my girl on the side of me crying because I stopped breathing, and you know what I mean, she was trying to do CPR on me to wake me back up.
The overdose rate has increased. Fentanyl's been a little bit harder. It's a little harder to detox from because a lot of the detox meds don't touch it as quick as it would touch heroin. So like where maybe you could go through the worst of heroin in 3 to 5 days, with fentanyl it's probably like that 7 to 10 day range. Oof. During overdoses, it's taking a lot more Narcan to bring people out of fentanyl overdoses. Heroin, you might hit someone 2-3 times. Shit, with fentanyl, you could hit them 6-7 times, you know, until they snap out of it.
I had the issue last night. I almost lost my girl, you know what I mean? She got high, and I started looking at her and she was kind of incoherent. I brought her away. The first thing that popped in my mind is she's gonna overdose, you know what I mean? So I started running around the streets right here fighting Narcan, and
you know what I mean? Okay, bro. Dude, he's a gangster, bro. That's what he's saying.
Running back upstairs and just making sure she was all right, you know what I mean? But it's scary, dude. You know what I mean? It's scary when it's that close to home, you know what I mean?
Oh, God damn it. You shouldn't have typed it, bro. No, he won't stop saying it. I can't unhear it. You know what I mean, bro? You know what I mean? Dude, it made sense.
Like every other public health crisis in America, the fentanyl catastrophe in Albuquerque has created a major...
He seems like a nice guy, by the way, and he seems like he could be easily a productive member of society, and it seems like he's just getting fucked over by the existence of these drugs. And they're just surrounding him. Then he's just like, you know, obviously he's got low self-control. He takes it, and then he fucks himself up. If he didn't have that choice, then he probably wouldn't be fucking his whole life up, right?
Blame game as to who's responsible for the situation. In leftist American discourse, especially far away from the epicenter of the problem, it's easy to blame Big Pharma, or perhaps America's broken spiritual core, for causing addiction, which then created the cartel demand. But those in the space feel that what's happening right now simply goes far beyond basic supply and demand tenets.
I just realized what my fentanyl is, chat. My fentanyl is nachos. One of our real shit stream. Whenever I ate my stream, like a few days ago, I can't remember what it was. It was like I was depressed. It was after McDonald had just killed me, and he is coming, and his fucking rage quit. He is coming, and I quit out. I was like, fuck this, and I was like, Uber Eats, nachos, extra meat, fucking loaded that shit up, and you know, and that's my fentanyl, bro. And I'm just like fucking getting high on nachos, baby. If they replaced all fentanyl with nachos, the world will probably be a better place. We could somehow do that.
And is somewhat evil.
They have figured out, like, hey, if we can manufacture fentanyl in these little pills and sell it for $2 a hit, what else can we manufacture into a little dose and sell it super cheap? The insidiousness of the nature of the drug is just, it seems a lot dirtier, a lot greasier, a lot grimier. I mean, these are the zombies on the street, right? They're bent over, standing in a median, bent over, like they're not falling down, but they're just bent over, and they seem like they're out of it. They're smoking out in public, and it's just really insidious. The synthetic market is getting bigger, and it's not going to stop.
All right, what's up, people? Just want to stop you real quick and remind y'all that we actually filmed this documentary about 1.5 years ago. And since then, things have gotten a little bit better from a fentanyl seizure perspective. The DOJ announced last week the largest fentanyl seizure in U.S. history just occurred. And guess where it was? 2 of New Mexico's largest cities, Albuquerque and somehow the hamlet of Santa Fe, a rich town which apparently also has fentanyl. Much like in California, the tax-paying public doesn't seem to care too much about drug users until they become homeless en masse, which, because of the eyesore and declining property value factor, often leads to renewed calls for city accountability. In Albuquerque, the city responded, as cities often do, with sweeps, closing down major public parks where homeless people live.
I don't get it. Why wouldn't it be like tons of money for this kind of shit? Like, if I seen like this shit going crazy in my town, I'm gonna be like, yo, what's going on? Let's fix this shit. Let's fucking, what do we need to do? Do we need to get more law enforcement in the area, boys? Like, why would you want to live in a shithole? You wouldn't want to live in a shithole, bro, would you? You wouldn't. That's just not somewhere you want to live. You know what I'm saying? Just lock more, I don't know, would more cops fix it? I don't know. Well, that's the thing, right? No. We've just established. It's like fixing the environment that kids are raised in and education and stuff, right? So it's kind of more fundamental. Because you could get Narcan and you can get all this other shit, but yeah. I mean, if there was no fentanyl for them to take, obviously then GG, but it's impossible, right? If you try and I think the more you try to stop it, the more it just means it goes into a shadier alley, right? Into a darker place.
Hopes that they would either die or...
I blame Asmongold. Goddamn fentanyl epidemic, man. Fucking Asmongold, bro. Fucking Asmongold, bro. Oh my god. He turned everyone into fentanyl addicts.
Cover somewhere else.
More than a year ago, Coronado Park had to close because homeless camping here had gotten so bad. At that time, a little over 1,300 people were experiencing homelessness in Albuquerque, and now that number has risen.
This is what the underpass looked like in early March. We witnessed open drug use and clothing on fire on the sidewalk.
There are now 2,394 people experiencing homelessness in Albuquerque, a nearly 83% increase from last year.
Fuck, I've been homeless before. I've been out on the streets before. Honestly, I didn't like it. I didn't like being fucking out there on them streets with no money, Holmes. Some of these people don't know what to do. And once you go to the streets, these fucking streets will suck.
The fucking homeless enjoyer, bro. He's like, hell yeah, I fucking love being homeless, baby. Like the guy's like, fuck houses, bro. Fuck, dude, the street, boy. That's where I like to sleep.
You are.
A lot of people don't want to have a drug addict at their house or on their kids, their property. You know what I mean? They think that, okay, well, because this person gets high, they're gonna rip me off, or they're gonna, you know what I mean, steal my shit.
Some days are miserable. I just got this new tent. I came up on last night, but the other tent behind it, we're getting hold up that night. It snowed and rained. I woke up, fucking my clothes were wet, soaked, drenched, miserable as fuck. I had to go to court. My birthday, it was my birthday. Court. What? Hey, I'm trying my hardest, Anis. I'm trying my hardest. But yeah.
You don't know who's out there, to be honest with you. You don't know who's out there. There could be a husband out there.
He's 18, bro. No, it's sad, bro. It's sad because this guy could be doing something. You know, he could be like a lumberjack or something. You know, that guy could be in a, like, dude, he could be a lumberjack or some shit, but instead he's just sitting there, sleeping in a fucking tent. I don't feel bad for them. What do you mean you feel bad? They're a victim of their circumstances, man.
There could be somebody's grandma, somebody's kid. You don't know who's out there, bro. But why do people hit the streets? Why are people homeless? They lose.
Just because you were born in like a better place and didn't get addicted to drugs, like GG. If your fucking dad and your mom were addicted to drugs and you're surrounded by drugs, and then you hit them, they had you selling drugs on the street corner or some shit, and then you like one time you tried it during a moment of like weakness or depression, and then you got addicted to drugs. I mean, I don't know, dude. I feel like this clearly it's not that simple as like, fucking every drug addict is just lazy and a piece of shit, and they should just not be poor and just get a job. I don't think it's that simple, you know? I really don't think it is that simple.
Jobs, moms and dads kick them out, they get divorced. Something made them go out there, right? Something in their life went fucked up.
If you don't have anywhere else to go, if you don't have anybody else to talk to, if you don't have any source of support that you feel like you're drowning in a sea of addiction or whatever, if we can't help you, we're never more than one person away to get you help, right? And that's kind of our philosophy. We just want to be that place, that go-to place.
Others, especially in our generation, believe the true solution to the problem is within reach, especially by way of funding organizations like Jeff's, but that politicians like to keep these problems going to keep their pockets full.
We have this wonderful concept called reversibility. A problem might spontaneously appear like fentanyl or homelessness, and all of a sudden everyone is surprised. But the same people that created the policies, that create the displacement, are also the same cronies and friends that get paid to fix it much later. And we call this reversibility.
Sometimes you have liberal politicians that'll say, oh, we're creating affordable housing. What they don't tell you is that they're giving away millions of dollars to already wealthy developers to create this affordable housing. But the affordable housing is only affordable for so many years. Then it gets popped up to market rate and gentrification.
We're continually assured the best and brightest are going to fix our community and these complex problems.
But do you really think there's some mastermind though? Do you not think they're just like trying to do the policies like, hey, vote me and I'll do whatever the fuck you want me to do. Like, I'll change my opinion based on like what's going to get me the most updates to my office or whatever. Like, do you really think they're like, oh yes, we're going to fucking give a bunch of money to these guys, which is going to fucking, we'll get the rich guys richer, and then we can gentrify this area 5 years down the flow, and then now guess what? There'll be a bunch of people addicted to drugs, and then when they're all addicted to drugs, we can say we'll fix it and we'll charge them more money. Like, do you really think it's some master plan, bro? I feel like they're just like, yo, I'll just say whatever the fuck gets me into office so I can have this cool job, and I'm all clouded up. And then they just do that. They morph like some sort of fucking lizard. I feel like that's it. I feel like they just don't care. They're little politicians are all little shapeshifter fucks. I don't think there's some master plan Andes. You know? I don't think they're master plan Andes. There's no way. How could they know fucking fentanyl was gonna pop off? How could they didn't know that shit was gonna like, oh yeah, maybe everyone's gonna start doing a horse tranquilizer. And China's gonna start sending it over in mass. You know, like I'm just not seeing it. 100%. Are you joining Quin? Lol. Am I joining? I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not convinced that there's some master plan shit going on. I'm gonna be real. I feel like often it's really simple. Like, this guy just wanted to get money and clout, and then that's why he did it. Not some evil mastermind. I just really don't see it.
But it's all just stayed the same the majority of my life, or gotten incredibly worse.
What are our tax dollars going to? It should be going to housing our people, for health care. And yeah, definitely we have a big substance abuse issue in Albuquerque, and we need to be thinking about ways to solve that from like a non-judgmental health perspective.
There's probably places internationally that have tackled a lot of these problems that are ahead of us, whether it's heroin, whether it's meth, whether it's opioids, whether it's fentanyl, whether it's, to me, even alcohol. It decimates our communities, and we have to start asking why.
Dude, alcohol's so much better. It's so much better than this shit. Like the random drunk guy versus like these motherfuckers. The alcohol is so, like, it's still bad, but it's like, dude, okay, imagine that one guy, like, half the lumberjacks, they go lumberjack all day, and they go to the fucking bar, and they're alcoholics, and they get wasted, and then they wake up in the morning and go be a lumberjack in the morning. Okay? That's at least way better than the fentanyl guy who's, like, standing outside a tent, and he's slurring everything, and you can barely understand what he's saying. I'm just saying, bro, you're more functional on alcohol than you are on fentanyl. Like, if you've got a choice, all right, I want to be alcoholic, or I'm going to be a drug addict that's addicted to fentanyl. I'm taking alcoholic any day, bro. Any day. Any day. SpaceX is launching a new rocket. Watch on NASA Twitch. Has it got people in it, or is it just like a satellite launch one?
For many, myself included, there seems to be a big connection between real estate developers and the proliferation of the open-air drug zones that seem to be confined to a small radius in American cities. One place you may have seen this is in our coverage of Kensington, the open-air drug market in Philadelphia. In every direction south and west of the area where police turn a strange and mysterious blind eye to the hellish street scenes unfolding every day, entire blocks are being torn down to make way for massive apartment complexes owned by mega developers like Templetown Realty, who have contracts with either universities or the cities themselves. The business model of many of these city-connected real estate companies, many in the neighborhood speculated, is to use the dejected homeless population to lower property values so the companies can tear shit down and make new stuff to make more money.
Yo, infinite money glitch. What the hell? That to be fair, that's a pretty short-term strategy though, right? That's not like, okay, when it's like 4 steps and like this some really advanced shit has to happen, that's one thing. But like versus like, oh, let's just let the homeless people stay there to reduce the fucking property value to then buy it. That's one step. Just don't fix the homeless thing. Property prices go down, we buy it. GG noobs. Just don't do this one thing. That seems reasonable at least.
Of these politicians are invested in the real estate industry. They really don't represent the people. They represent those interests that,
Where are you? This place is fucking like liminal. That's the biggest car park I've ever seen in my life. What is this? It's like a car park as far as you can see. That's insane. How does that exist? Like, did you park your car over here? You gotta walk like 2 kilometers to get to your office.
And fund their campaigns.
There's no cars. There's no car. It's just car park.
We see it from the city to state level. We've got one brave ally, Senator Linda Lopez. She's reintroducing this bill right now, actually, to make rent control legal. Because actually it's illegal for us to put a limit on how much landlords squeeze money out of us, right? Last session we tried to do the same thing, and the committee that we were in, a lot of those guys are landlords themselves. So it's a complete uphill battle. The system's completely built to benefit, the very, very small percentage of landlords and developers, and it's to the disadvantage of the majority of us in New Mexico who rent.
It makes sense, right? Rich people have like power. And then rich people have an agenda. So when you got power and you got an agenda, you just do what you want, right? It makes that makes sense. That makes sense.
A few years ago, we bought a triplex across the street because.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna do the thing that benefits you more? The thing is, what I don't get is, would you really want to be a rich person living in a place with a bunch of hobos? Nah, right? Surely. You know what? If we keep the hobos in this area, okay, specifically, we call them off over there. Okay, then we let those hobos tank the property prices in that area because they shit everywhere. Then we got the shit map taken to the house prices. Then we buy that area, and then we'll move the hobos over there, and then they can move the oof.
We realized some of the people that were leaving our program, they were being discriminated against in terms of getting a nice place. Like they would have good jobs, making good money, and they would go to these places and they would just look at their background or lack of background and be like, no, you can't live here.
This is the type of stuff, it's like, housing is a huge barrier to people in Albuquerque and people in New Mexico, like just being able to survive,
Do you know what I was thinking, actually? Do you know, chat, tell me if this is too socialist or some shit, or like some communist shit. I don't know what the fuck it is. I was thinking, like, it's fucked up that there's these rich as fuck people and they just own, because I was looking at the region of Taupo, and there's these rich as fuck people who own, like, just insane amounts of land. And they just section off a little bit, sell it, this little shitty piece of land for, like, $500,000. Well, another piece, $500,000. And it's just like, dude, that guy's dad's dad just owned the land, and then he passed it down to the guy, and then they've just been doing that. And it's just, like, infinite. But they didn't do anything. They just were born, and then he just gets to, like, package these little bits of land and sell them for millions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars. And they don't do anything. And it's just because, like, some guy's dad's dad owned some shit, and then it's just passed on. I was thinking, how fucking bullshit is that this wealth accumulates to people who have more wealth, because then they've got more money, so they can invest more stuff, so they get more things. And there's just more rich people who get even richer, and they get richer. And then they have kids, and then their kids are born rich, and they just have all the stuff, and then you exist here, and it's kind of like bullshit, right? Because you said you're born, you got nothing, you own fuck all, and you're like supposed to rent from this rich guy who just owns everything just cause he was like born, and then he just has it. And I was thinking, this is a broken system almost, and don't we need to like make it so, like when some rich cunt dies, like over a certain like okay, if you've got like $10 million of assets, right? $10 million of assets, you're good. You can just pass it to your family members or whatever. But over a certain threshold, let's just say 10 million or 15 million, whatever number it is, after that point, you just got to give it away. It's got to get given back to the government or something. Just like, or like half of it. Like, so like half of whatever the fuck some rich cunt owns just gets given back to the government. So then they can redistribute it to people who are fresh born with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Am I crazy? Why the government? Yeah, well, the government. Someone independent who's not a person, right? An entity that is trying to benefit the most people who are living in the country. Right? What I'm saying is, like, dude, it's only people who have got more than like 15, like the people who have so much wealth that is obscene, and then they use that wealth to investigate more wealth. And like, dude, these motherfuckers own, I'm telling you, how bullshit. I'm looking at these property prices. I'm trying to buy this little shitty bit of grass, like this little shitty bit of grass. And it's like $750,000. And this guy just owns like 20% of the entire region just because his dad's dad was here, and like he scammed some moldy guy by giving him like a musket and some fucking food, and was like, yo, I own this land now, yeah? And then they just drew a line, and like now he's just like super rich generationally for all his kids. It's complete BS, right? It's just fucking bullshit. I'm just saying it's a broken system. It's a broken system. So what I'm saying is, like the ultra super mega rich, like bro, $10 million whatever or under. Let's say $20 million and under. You're allowed to pass on 20 mil to your kids, or some shit like that. But anything over that, okay, you gotta give away half of it or something, and it gets given back to the government. And there's a way, you know, because the thing is, there's finite land, right? There's finite stuff, and if like, you know, 5% of people own 80% of the stuff, that's just bullshit, bro. That's just fucking bullshit. All right, I'm just saying that's just bull. You're just born, and then that's just how it. Like, fuck off. And then, you know, I see that because I was watching a YouTube video actually, about like Dutch people living in South Africa and how they basically fucking enslaved everyone and fucking started up apartheid, and they just took all this land and did all this shit. And like there's this whole party who are like, yo, let's go shoot these guys and take their land. I'm like, dude, that's unhinged. But then I was thinking about it, like, wait, what the fuck? These guys, I mean, technically their ancestors got pushed off their land and those guys took all their shit. So why can't they take it back, right? Why can't they just be like, yo, let's just fucking take that shit back, redistribute it to the people? Which is like one of these things where, you know, it's messy as fuck, right? Which is why you should hopefully do it amicably, and like they should do it with words, and they should work out a way of doing it. But yeah, it kind of makes sense. It kind of does fucking make sense. TLDR is ultra mega wealthy rich people shouldn't be able to just own everything and then pass it to their kids. There should be some level of redistribution happening, because it's a broken system that's just gonna the end game. What is the end game of that? Basically, a fraction of people owning the complete overwhelming majority of everything. That's all that's happening. Because people who have tons of money can just reinvest and get more money, and the poor people just get fucked, and they just have to sit there being like a little cuck renting from some rich guy who does nothing. By the way, the rich guy does nothing. He just owned the land when he was born, and he just rents it out to you, and does fucking nothing, and then just sells off little bits of packages of his land that he just owned because his dad's dad owned it. It's some BS, bro.
And like, how can you grow as a person? How can you like be a healthy person mentally and physically if like you can't even have housing accessible?
But we know that in many situations, full drug legalization can lead to a complete nightmare, especially in municipalities like Portland, Oregon, where the same drugs that are made legal are also deeply criminalized in other states and counties that are just a few hours away by car. What happens is that because of the disparity in law, many of the drug users, to avoid jail time and citations, decide to all head to the city so they can not go to jail. And the harm reduction nonprofit resources are stretched thin to the point of capacity.
My city, my state is getting diced up, and it goes to the highest bidder, and you end up displacing a lot of people. It's kind of a mess. I don't know, other than money coming in and completely changing these neighborhoods, and then they go somewhere else. I don't know where they go. I don't know where this problem goes.
Some people are like, arrest everybody and put them in jail and make everything illegal. Like, well, maybe for some people that's gonna work, you know, and other people are like, legalize everything and decriminalize everything and just let everybody do what they want. And for some people that's gonna work.
But despite this scene on the ground, Albuquerque from a legal perspective is not like Portland, SF, or Seattle. It's more like Vegas or Phoenix. You can't just technically do drugs on the streets there. And many people on the Albuquerque streets began their career in jail and prison with petty drug possession charges.
I used to be a heroin addict, and my first bid was in 2001. That's when I got sentenced. I got locked up in 2000. I didn't learn for a long time, man. You know, I took that little trip down that road to the Pinta, where most of us, I could say most of my homies anyways, ended up. And I done about 15 years. I've done 15 years, and
the hell do you do?
Yeah, and I did everything that I said I was gonna do once I put my mind to it in the joint. This is what I tell my homeboys when they get out. If they call me, they tell me, and like I tell them, if you guys love your freedom and you enjoy your freedom, you're gonna stay clean, homes, because if you don't stay clean, eventually you're gonna get caught and you're gonna go back.
Whatever reason you have, at what point do we say, look, we've got to find something better? I'm saying maybe we need to make the jails more therapeutic. Maybe we need to put appropriate clinical services in the jail so we can say, Joe, you're really struggling, man, and we're really worried about you as a person in our society that you're gonna die. We have a program.
This guy's fucking iDubbbz, but like Giga Chad version, and he's like net positive to society, bro. He's fucking popping off. Who is this guy? Is this iDubbbz dad?
In our jail, so you're not getting out of jail
Look at him go.
like 3 days off of fentanyl or 5 days with no home, no services, no support. We want you to...
This guy's trying to be cool. What do you mean he's trying to be cool? This guy is cool. Wait, what the hell? If there was more people like this in the world, they'd be like, the world would be a better place, I feel like. I mean, at face value, I actually don't know the guy personally. Based on everything I've seen so far, he's saying a lot of good things. He's got a good takes. He's running this fucking place, which is helping people who are like fucking drug addicts and poor and shit living on the street. It seems kind of fucking W, bro. He seems kind of W.
Stay here. Let's do a 45-day, 90-day, whatever treatment, and let's just try and get him some social support. So when you leave here, you're not leaving here, you're actually walking into something. You're gonna leave here and go immediately into housing. A lot of people want to say that I'm saying incarcerate addiction, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the entire system has to think differently. But this whole thing where it's just about wins and losses on the attorney side, that's some bullshit. So how can we think about it from top to bottom to be better, right?
There's really not an answer.
They need to do a thing, bro, where you reward people for not being addicted to drugs. Like, if you earn under a certain amount and you can do a drug test and prove that you've not done drugs, then they give you like a package. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're homeless and poor, right? So like once you're not eligible for this, right? Like it's like the poor people who don't do drugs booster package. Okay, that's what it is. So it's the reverse. You know, you get like, okay, so you get these mean hits of, I mean, I don't know what the fuck's released in your brain whenever you take these drugs, but it's like hella dopamine and shit, right? So you get super addicted to these drugs. What I'm saying is I need to do a reverse thing. So like, hey, if you don't do drugs and you're poor as fuck, well, guess what? You do a little blood test once every month. And, dude, you get a fucking handout, bro. You get a mean little package. You get a mean package, baby, for, like, not being addicted to drugs. Boom. And then once you, I mean, I'm just trying to think of, like, a reverse drugs. Like, how cool would that be, right? If you could just get a mean reward. I wish it was possible, right? Like a non-addictive good drug for, like, not being addicted to actual drugs. What I'm saying is a booster package would be that, right? I don't know what it would be, but, yeah. You drink caffeine. Well, yeah, I'm talking about drugs that ruin your life, right? Like fentanyl and meth and fucking, I guess heroin. Maybe heroin's not as bad. I don't know. But I mean, probably heroin. Like stuff like that.
How are you going to fix that in New Mexico? That's for sure.
At some point, when is it incumbent upon us as a society to help people who can't help themselves? We got to think of it in those terms. Otherwise, we're just stepping on our own dick all the time.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority. Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers. And 5 is the best number.
As you do.
My name's Bel Cisneros. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And right now we're here at downtown Albuquerque at Por Vida Tattoo. I was born and raised here in Albuquerque, the South Valley, and right here in this neighborhood, Barelas. When my parents got divorced, when I was 12 years old, I moved down here with my grandfather. So I grew up not far from here, about 1 minute walk. With the growing in population and, comes along all the other stuff, I've seen a lot of buildings be built, a lot of the land get developed. I guess it depends what part of Albuquerque you're at, but to me, it's like a very clean city, our air is real clean and stuff like that. As far as like the inner city, we have a lot of course, fentanyl. That's the main thing that I would see, and it's all caused by that. Probably all around America the same. Like inner city shit, the homeless and stuff like that. They're real harmless, and we have a lot of petty crime and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it, It's affected me in a positive and a negative way, just as it does with everyone in every city, You don't want your customers' cars getting broken into and stuff like that, and that happens. But at the same time, they're out there doing jobs too, that other people don't want to do. You have them picking up trash in the parking lot and shit like that. So as far as change in culture, it's been interesting too, because, my era was like the Cholo era, Everyone was into the Cholo stuff and gangs and stuff, and it's a lot different now. You don't see so much of it, which is kind of nice. I don't know about the Cholo stuff. I like that stuff, but the gangs and shit, you don't see a whole.
That's what I'm hearing in my head. That's what I'm hearing when he's saying the Trollo guys. I'm just like, what the fuck's he going on about?
A lot of it. I know they're out there, but it's not like it used to be. In my eyes, it's gotten better. I understand, like, if you were to go off of statistics, like crime or whatever's up, but I mean, so is the population. So there would be more crime, obviously. It's beautiful. It's the land of opportunity. Right? I feel like, you hear that a lot from people from Albuquerque, that they move out of Albuquerque and search for opportunity. But for me, it's the opposite. Albuquerque's so nice for that, for opportunity. For one, because...
What is this guy? Bro, I'm going to be honest, my brain's melting. This guy's... bro, he's been yapping. And I'm just fucking spacing the fuck. What he's saying is making no sense.
Startups on businesses and stuff, your cost is real low. On top of, everyone knows each other. So if you need to get shit done, it's real easy to get shit done. There's always somebody that knows somebody. It's big enough to start a business, but it's not too big to where you're just working all alone, You got a lot of people that'll back you on whatever you do, in my experience. I guess this is how you look at it, Because for myself, it's been the best city to grow up in for all those reasons. I've had the support of a lot of people, but no, it's been good. The city's nice, it's beautiful. It's hard for me to say about any negativity on it because I've never experienced it in my life, Cool,
you wanna tell them?
Oh shit. There it is. Oh shit. What happened? Did he die? Wait, did he die? What the hell happened? What the hell happened? He's like, did nothing ever bad happen in this town, and then it's like the best place ever, and then wait, how did he die? He did not die to a fent overdose. He did not die of a fent overdose.
Instagram, it's Por Vida 505, New Mexico. From our website, you could find it.
Good, perfect.
Cool.
That's it.
Sorry, dog, I don't have so much to say.
No, that's perfect. No, that's
It was not good. You shouldn't have included that part. I'm gonna be honest. Wait, what? I don't get it. What happened? What, that guy just died? Like some random guy came in and yapped at the end, and then he died. But they did an ad for his place. What the fuck? I'm so confused. John Bale Sinise.